Welcome to Off the Clock. Many people know Dr. Dean Van Galen as the 6th president of Missouri Southern State University, taking the helm in 2020. But today we visit with him as a super fan of Missouri Southern State University athletics. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Great to be with you, Lisa. Appreciate the opportunity.
So as someone who attends all of the basketball games, or at least so I'm told, what's the atmosphere like at the games?
Well, Mary and I do attend most of the games, and it is fantastic. Very energetic. I'd call it electric at times. A lot of support from our community and our on-campus fans as well. And the pep band, the cheer squad, it all makes for a really fantastic environment for the crowd.
In your role, why do you feel it's important to attend sporting events?
I think number one, it's a way to support our students and specifically our student athletes. You know, our campus is a great place. Students are involved in many different ways, but our student athletes are very committed not only to their sport, but to the university. So first of all, it's just fun to be out there and supporting our student athletes. And of course, over time, you get to know who they are, and on campus, I have the opportunity to interact with them. So that's really reason number one. It is about the students.
So let's get a little personal. Do you have sports in your background? Did you play a sport in high school, college?
So in high school, I ran some cross country, played a little bit of basketball and football. Let's just say I should keep my day job at this point. So yes, but I did.
So do you still shoot hoops? Anything still actively, or any lifetime sports?
Really running. And so for the last, most of the last 30 or 40 years, I've been a runner, do a 5K a few times a week. So it's just something I enjoy and kind of a good stress relief as well.
You bet. And it keeps you lean.
Yeah,
you're physically fit. You got to have that energy. So how are team sports important to a university's overall well-being and the university's, I guess, atmosphere and role in the community?
Yeah, I think they certainly build a sense of school spirit. For many people in the community, they're a front door to our campus. I would say that also about the performing arts as an example. But our student athletes and those teams represent Missouri Southern in really important ways to our community and beyond. They help us recruit students. Many of our student athletes are here because of the opportunity to compete at Missouri Southern at a Division II level. And more than anything, I think they just add a sense of community and school spirit. So they are important to the well-being of the university.
You mentioned recruiting. I know we're going to be talking to one of the basketball players who, had played previously in high school with somebody else and who was a transfer student. So I kind of thought, maybe her friend talked her into coming to Southern. It sounds like that team camaraderie maybe brings them back together.
I think the team chemistry is really important, and the coaches play a critical role. I'm really very excited about Sam McMahon, our new men's basketball coach, and Ronnie Russell continues to do a great job. But when you go to games, you can see that chemistry, that team spirit that's really strong. And I do think that's part of how we recruit students. They want to be part of something very cohesive, very special, very family-oriented, and we have that here at Missouri Southern.
You mentioned the coaches. Some of them had started here as assistant coaches, left, and came back. What would you attribute that to?
Yeah, that's really a neat story, and I think there is something very special at Missouri Southern, the sense of family and community that exists. And we see a number of coaches who've been here either as coaches or even players. You look at Atiba Bradley, our football coach, and they're drawn back here to Joplin and Missouri Southern, and I think it speaks highly of what all of us do here.
Members of the community are welcome at all games. What would you say to them to encourage them to come take part?
Yeah, first of all, it's a great time. I mean, there's a lot of energy, and again, over time you get to know the players. We have very competitive teams. They do a great job, a lot of sportsmanship, which I also appreciate. So it's a fun evening, but also it's a great way to support Missouri Southern. The connection between Joplin, this region, and the university is really important, very special. And it's just one example of how the community can help support our university.
I know for years, Coach Robert Korn was very influential in getting his players to go out into the community and do service. How important is that?
Yeah, I think it's critical for a couple of reasons. Number one, to have those student athletes experience giving back, serving the community, learning about Joplin and the area is really critical. And I really give a lot of credit to Rob Mallory, our athletic director, and the coaches. they are really encouraging that service learning component in the programs. Recently, we're certainly ranked in the top 3 in terms of Teamworks Challenge, which is the NCAA Division II competition, if you will,
Oh, wow.
for the number of service hours provided by student athletes. Recently, the Student Athletic Advisory Council donated over 4,500 items to Souls Harbor. So just a lot of great examples of serving on behalf of our student athletes. And again, I think it forms a connection between Joplin and Missouri Southern that is really positive.
Relationship is important with the community in which they live.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have student athletes, basketball players, for example, from Purdy and Cassville and Nixa and Mount Vernon, the local area. But we also draw students on those teams from across the nation, and even a young lady from Germany. And so
Wow.
they come from different backgrounds. They each have their own stories, but they're here together. They build those bonds with each other, the campus, and Joplin.
Yeah. So it's a good, important relationship with the community. I know that Coach Korn is in the Missouri Hall of Fame, Pat LaPira, other coaches.
Yes.
What do you think that says about our coaches here?
Yeah, we have a history of outstanding coaches and people. And, when I think about our coaches, I always encourage them, yes, we want to be highly competitive, but we also want a great student athletic experience, and we want to do it the right way. And those are our really 3 guiding principles in my mind for our athletic programs. And those coaches have done that. They've done a great job. And it's also a lot of fun to see those coaches, Pat LaPira as a great example around the community. You go to a softball game now, and Pat LaPira, you could say she's still coaching from the bleachers.
From the sidelines.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, and so from the sidelines, what's your favorite cheer? What do you do to encourage the team? Give us your best Go Lions. What do you usually yell from the bleachers? And what's your favorite concession stand food?
Well, I am kind of a yelling Go Lions now and then. I'm pretty intense, it turns out, when I watch sports. So it's serious business, but we have a lot of fun. And then, I'm kind of for the Gatorade and a candy bar. So Mary and I usually kind of sneak some of that in during the game.
I might have pegged you for a popcorn person, but not sure.
No, candy bar,
Candy
straight
bar
away.
all the way. Little sugar.
Yes,
Get you going for when you take that run.
absolutely.
Well, Dr. Van Galen, thank you for joining us.
My
It was
pleasure.
great. Appreciate having you here.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the game.